All right, you guys, welcome back to our React clone. So what we have done so far in our previous video was just working with some boilerplate with the Material UI icon library. So we had to install that in our previous video with npm. And to find the icons that we need, we actually are at mui.com. And what we can do here is we can actually set whatever icon we need from this library, type it in this search bar and pull it up. So what we did is we searched for a menu icon that's just like the one that's on YouTube. And then we imported that menu icon as a component inside our header component. So now we need to get all the icons from our Material UI library, and we need to import them in our header and then actually put them all together. So we have the menu icon and we need to get a few more. So the other icons that we need to get are going to be the avatar icon, the sign in icon, as well as some other ones. So let's go ahead and import those now. God. So let's go to YouTube. So let's go to YouTube right now and let's see what those icons are. And we're just going to search them inside the Material UI icon library and get them out of that library. Okay, so we need a search icon next to our search bar. So we're going to go to Material UI and we're going to type in search. All right, and I see this icon right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this and then I'm going to import it into my code. So we have to import it, copy and paste that. And then next to our input, we're going to say search icon component. And this menu icon actually goes to the left of our logo. So we're going to remove that from there and put it before our logo. All right, let's save and refresh that. And it's going to recompile. All right, and let's see, refresh again. Okay, so here's the menu icon, here's the logo, and there's the search icon. Okay, cool. So what other icons do we need? We need a microphone icon after our search menu. So let's get a microphone icon from the Material UI library. So just type in microphone. All right, we found one right here. So let's just go ahead and copy this. And we're going to import that in our header. And it's going to go after our search icon. So we're going to say mic icon. All right, so save and refresh. Refresh again. All right, so we see our microphone icon is there now. Cool. All right, so we have what looks like some type of square icon. So we'll just say, type in square video view module. That's what this icon is called in Material UI. So we'll just copy that and we're going to paste that into our file and then we'll add that to right after our mic icon. So view module icon. Save and refresh twice. Don't see it. Let's see, what's the issue? View module icon, did I spell that right? View module icon, yeah, that's spelled right. Cannot find a declaration file. Hmm. All right, let's go back. All right, there it is. There's our little square menu thingy from YouTube. Okay, perfect. And now we just need some sort of list element with like 3 dots on it so that we can make that our settings. So let's see, do they have something else like that? I feel like we can use this icon here. Actually, I like this icon. So we'll use the featured playlist icon for our settings. So we're just going to import that into our file. And we'll put that after the view module icon. So we'll say featured playlist icon. And we'll save that and refresh it. All right, cool. So it's there now. And then we have an avatar kind of icon there in the corner. So let's search for avatar. All right, cool. So I like this account circle. So we'll use account circle for that. And we'll just import that into our header. And we'll say account circle icon. All right, cool. So let's save that and refresh again. Going back to our app. All right, so all of our icons are there. And so now that we have that basic template of all the essential children for our app, now we need to actually space this out, right? It needs to look like this. There needs to be some space in between the logo and the search bar. And there also needs to be some space between the microphone icon and this other menu over here to the right. So the first thing we're going to do is actually resize our logo because it's way too big. And we put our logo inside of a div with a class name of header logo. And so that's what we will be targeting in our CSS. For now, I'm just going to make a commit now and call this commit imported icons. And I'm going to stage that commit. And now I'm going to push that commit to my repo. And what that's going to do is update all the changes I made to my GitHub repository. And therefore, all the changes that I just made on this working tree, you'll be able to see those in the GitHub repo for this project. All right, so cool. Let's close that. And let's go here to our CSS file. And you'll see here that we don't have anything actually targeting our header logo. So we need to create a new element target, and we need to call it what it's titled in our component, which is header logo. And we're just going to give it a height, let's say, of 30 pixels. So let's save that. And let's refresh and see if this updates our logo. Refresh again. Okay, so let's go back here and let's see inside our header.js, do we have our CSS imported? No, we don't. So we need to import our CSS into this file. Let me see. So app.css is there. So this is how we import our CSS. And we're just going to import that into our header.js file, and then that should make the change that we need. Let's go ahead and save that. Did it change it? No. Okay, so we have this class name here of header underscore underscore logo, and we're targeting it here, and we're giving it a height of 30 pixels, but it's not showing up yet. So that just means we need to work on targeting our logo a little bit better. So usually when that happens, that's because the CSS isn't connected to our file. So what we're going to do is actually create our own CSS file for our header.js instead of importing the app.js. All right, so go ahead and save that again. And we're going to create a new file called header.css. Save as header. Wow, everything is just going bananas. Okay. New file, header.css. And inside this header.css, we're going to target our header, and we're going to target our header logo. All right, so here's the header.js, and we want to import header.css. All right, and that should import the CSS properly from that file now. So let me see what we need to do. All right, so for our header, we're going to say display flex. And this is going to put all the elements inside of our header tag in a row. So we go back to header.js. We'll see that our class name is right here of header. And we're saying everything inside of our header, we want to give it a flexbox display. And so let's go ahead and save header.css. And let's see if that works. All right. So it looks like that's working. So now let's target our header logo, and let's give it a height of 25 pixels. Let's say object fit contain. So that way our logo doesn't get distorted when it's on different screen sizes. Sometimes that can happen when you're working with JPEG or PNG files. And we want to give it a margin left of 20 pixels. All right, so let's save that and refresh. Let's see. Uh, okay, so let's restart the server. And you can restart the server by just typing in npm start. Okay, sorry about that, guys. If my microphone gets unplugged, just let me know in the chat room. So what we did was we applied a flex box, and that flex box put all the elements inside our header in a row. And we also applied justified content space between, which creates space between each element, which creates space between Flexbox container. And so what we need to do now is we need to actually separate these different parts of our header into separate divs. That way, everything doesn't become so spaced out. So the YouTube logo and the menu icon are in one box. So when we look at a website, you want to draw boxes around everything that you're looking at. So this logo and this menu icon is one box. This search input bar and this icon with the microphone is one box. And then these three icons over here to the right are one box. So that's how we're going to break up our page. So we just want to have the menu icon and the logo inside one div. So we're going to say div header left, and we're going to close it there. And then we're going to put the search icon and the mic icon in one div as well. So we'll say div class name header center. All right, so we put that in its own div. And now we want to put the last three icons in their own div as well. So we'll call this last one div class name equals header right. All right, so let's save that and refresh that. And now we have separate divs and we can apply those properties to those divs separately now so that everything can fit. So we're going to do the same thing that we did to our header div with the other divs. So we'll say header dash center and we'll give it a display of flex. We'll say align items center. We'll say width of 40% of our page. And we'll say, we'll give it a border of 1 pixel solid. All right, so that's for our header center, and then we also have our header dash right. All right, our header dash right is, let's say, display flex line items center. All right, so let's save that and refresh that and see if that changes anything. All right, so we see here we're making some progress, but we still have a lot of space in between our menu icon and our YouTube icon, as well as our search bar. So we need to add some more things here, and we need to say justify. All right, so let's go back here and we'll see. This is all header left, and that's inside of our header div. And our header top is what contains our menu icon, which is in its own div. We don't really need that, so let's change that. All right, so let's go back to our CSS file real quick. If we're looking at our header right, so that should definitely have a display of flex and align item center. Our header logo and our header input should also have a display flex. We have that. We have an align items. We have a width of 40%. And let's see what else we need. Our header has justified content space between, padding of 20 pixels. So hold on, let me go back here and let's see, refresh. Sorry, so we have our icons here in our right-hand corner. That's where we want them. We actually want our microphone outside of our search bar. And it looks like these icons inside the input are being spaced between. So let's go back to get rid of justified content space between. And let's see if that changes anything. Okay, perfect. And let's see. This border is too wide, and our logo is also kind of spaced in between. So it looks like it's applying space in between to more than just this first div. So let's go here and let's say div header left. All right, so we'll just say go back to header CSS, get rid of justified content space between, and let's see what that does. Okay. So that's a little bit better, but not quite what we were looking for. So that makes sense why that's there. So let's add that back, justify content, space between. Your input. So We have our input, that's header center. So that's where we're applying this under the tag of header center. And that should also be a display flex, align item center. So that's right. But why is our logo all the way over here? Height 25 pixels, object fit contain. Let's get rid of that margin left and see if that does anything. Let's see. Okay. Margin left 50 pixels. Don't need a margin there at all. Because of the padding that's there that's doing that. Let's see if we take away the padding. Oh, okay, that's just the padding from the top. Okay.